So now we can take care about our contour of the lips to make them look a bit better. As you could notice before, the contour are not perfect. There's some lipstick on the skin, so all of these things we have to remove. And of course, I think we have to work a little bit more on the colors inside, which we're going to do by working with contour. So take a look on our lips. Clearly, and simply I'm going to work on these parts on the both sides of it, and of course on the bottom it will be very difficult because the shadow over here is not really optimistic. So I'm going to start with the top lip, and the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to create 2 new layers. Oops, just 2. And one layer I'm going to call skin, and the other I'm going to call lipstick. So let's do a selection using a pen tool. Many of the people selecting all of the lip, however, I prefer to do this separately. I prefer to do at first one lip and then the second one. I prefer to do everything very slowly. I believe it's a bit more effective. So I'm just going to do selection over here like this. So we have to be really careful with selection, and then I'm going to try to grab from here. But we have to be really careful by the fact to not make this lips look too full. I think right now it's okay. So we can start our work. I'm not sure about the area over here, but yeah, let's try to do what we have to do. So now I don't have to be really careful about good selection. I'm just going to make a round like this. So hit right and make selection, and as you can see this image is quite big, so I set feather radius at 1 pixel, and then I'm going to start from the skin. So I'm going to hit right and select inverse. So I'm going to work with the skin right now, and how I'm doing this, I'm just choosing clone stamp tool, and then I change the mode for the lighten, and flow, I'm going to set the flow quite soft, 20%, and the thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a stamp from this area and softly get off of this red color around the lips. As you can see, if I would do this by brush, I think it wouldn't be so soft and the effect could be a bit fakey. So we have to be really careful. Take a look, small change, but it looks a bit better. And once again I'm going to invert the selection because now I want to work inside. So select inverse, now our selection is inside, and as I change selection, I'm going to choose this lipstick layer to keep everything separate and in order. I'm going to choose clone stamp tool once again, take a stamp from inside, and then paint inside the lips around the edges, just to make this dark enough, maybe a bit over here as well. So okay, I'm going to down a bit here, and once again I want to invert the color because I think this area I can sort out right now. So I'm going to take a stamp somewhere here, just paint a bit here because the colors were not really perfect. Maybe a bit more. Alright, so let's take off the selection and take a look what we've done. So that's the color inside. I'm going to put both of these layers into the group. It will be much comfortable. Control G, and I'm going to call this lip contour. I have no idea if I didn't do a mistake with the word contour now. I'm sorry if I did. And as you can see, our lips are so much better right now. So now repeat the same thing on the other side. It will be a bit more difficult. Maybe I'm just going to move my image a bit to make this easier for me. So I'm going to choose pen tool, and once again until this point I believe the line is very straight, so let's do a step over here. And then going to do here. Okay, I believe we did. Our selection is quite alright. I hope. I think maybe I went too far over here. It still should be okay. Make selection 1 pixel of course, and I'm going to start from the skin once again. So select inverse and our skin layer. So I'm going to choose Clone Stamp tool with the mode lighten, and I think I went too low over here, so I will be very careful in this area. Actually, there's still a chance to do this right. Okay, I think we did this right. And the reason why I'm not using brush in this case, but just Clone Stamp tool and in mode lighten, because brush would be too strong, so it would be a bit destructive. This Clone Stamp tool is not that destructive for this. So now let's move to our lips and to inverse. Paint inside, close to the edge. Be careful on the top. Don't paint too much. Don't stamp too much, because it just won't look natural. So, okay, now I'm going to deselect and take a look at our lips, what we've done. I think it looks so much better right now. So now we can move down to the bottom lip, and this challenge will be much more difficult right now actually, because we have so much of the shadow, so that won't be easy challenge, but I'm going to try to do my best. So let's do a selection first. Going to start from here. Maybe I went too close, so once again. Okay, now I think it will be alright. So we got the shape like this. So make a selection by the fact that our edges are not really clear here. I'm going to set feather radius at 3 pixels for now. Of course, select inverse. And this time I'm going to take a stamp from not so bright area, maybe somewhere here. Yes. And let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to brighten up slightly this area. As much as we can do this without actually destroying our skin too much. So just very, very softly. Okay, I think we are doing well for now. Let's try to work for the other part. So this bottom lip is much better right now, as you can see. I didn't do as much as on the top because it's just different case. So I'm going to, here there will be a bit more to do for sure. So once again I'm going to selection until this point maybe. Okay. So once again, make selection and once again feather radius at 3 pixels. Select inverse. And let's do this once again. Softly. To get off of this ugly shadow. It doesn't happen so much, so I believe when you will be working on your images, this you won't get such a case, but working with these pictures we can improve some skills for sure. So as you can see, it's quite useful sometimes. Now I'm going to change the flow maybe to keep a bit more control on it. Okay, I think we've done something good looking. It wasn't destructive. I'm going to deselect this right now, and we really improved these lips right now, especially on the bottom. As you can see, it's huge difference. It was some kind of nightmare. Here I didn't do so well, I guess. Much better. I did on the other side much better. So right now when we finished, we can actually work a bit more. So choose a brush, change the flow to 1, and I'm going to change the mode for normal. We can try to work with our tone sometimes a bit. If there's something we don't like, can try to paint the area to make everything look a bit more natural. So yeah, I think we did really great job for now. On the top, as you can see, sometimes we can get some small contour. The same, we can use a brush and just paint over this area, just carefully to not affect our lips anymore, and just to cover this contour. Now I can go back to the right position of my image, and there you go. Take a look. Fantastic job we've done with our lips. We really improved them. I'm really happy with it. It's really nicely. So take a look how our lips right now after this change. I'm really happy with it. So we are ready to move on with our project.